This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
Freeking.com.
Dave Ridley here, signing in for RidleyReport.com. I'm standing here with Russell Canning, also known as the Cardinal of the Shire. It's, roughly a Halloween right now, and we're at a Halloween party. But I'm here to interview Russell for the Made the Move series, which I've been neglecting lately. And basically it's a series about people who've moved to New Hampshire for more freedom. So Russell will be maybe the 30th person I've interviewed for this series, but you've been here quite a while, Russell. You moved here in late 2004 and have been really one of the most active activists here. And my main question, what was it that inspired you to move to New Hampshire?
Oh, I guess I was one of those people that tried to avoid the government for a lot of years. I used to complain about the government a lot. And I used to try to just avoid them, stay away from them. But they got so bad that it got to the point where we have to fight them. And then my dad came by and said, "Hey, I found this idea of a whole bunch of guys all moving to one state, and then we'd start there." And I went, "Hey, that sounds good. I could do that." This was a little bit before we voted for the FSP state, and that's when I said, well, I could move to somewhere out west in 5 years from now if we all voted for something. And lots happened since then.
And you actually initially moved to Wyoming, correct?
Yeah, when I joined the FSP and we were about ready to vote for the state, well, it was obvious Wyoming was going to be the choice because everybody knows Wyoming's the freest state. And then people voted for New Hampshire. And at the time I had opted out of every place back east. I thought, hey, I could even get to Alaska if necessary. And then by the time we voted and we chose New Hampshire, I went, I guess I can do New Hampshire too, so I re-signed up. So.
And but are you still glad you did it, even though it wasn't the state of your preference?
Oh yeah. The whole point was to have all of us go to the same place. And New Hampshire's been fun. So.
And what's the type of activism do you find yourself most drawn towards?
Well, I've been waiting to do this, but, I am now going to announce my run for president of the United States. It's funny because I watched so many Ridleys of people answering the question of, for me, I remember when we were sitting, we sat in the house going, okay, so how do we do this? And we watched that Gandhi video and went, hey, we can do that. If some guy in a towel can do that, right? We could do it. So that's what, that's why we got the idea of, hey, we can not cooperate with the bad guys. So that's what we've been doing in small steps and now kind of spending a lot of time trying to make it easy for people to move here and join in with this whole Shire idea. So it's kind of fun.
What's something you see in New Hampshire that you feel like it's really not very free in New Hampshire that really needs major improvement?
Well, I've experienced it myself. One of the bad things about New Hampshire is, in California, I would not have been thrown in jail for things that they just don't have enough jail room for people like me. But in New Hampshire, everybody follows the rules so they can make up more rules or enforce more rules. So they can see me on the road and pull me over and say, you need ID. If not, we're throwing you in jail. In California, I had a suspended license one time when they pulled me over. They just looked at me and, what are we going to do? So, that's the only thing that, in general, when you're sitting in a jail in New Hampshire, guys go, man, if you were in Massachusetts, you wouldn't even be in jail. There's no room. So that's the bad part.
That's an interesting point, and I had never heard that point made before, but I guess the safety of New Hampshire can work against
and people are, think of, could the Nazis have taken over Germany without a whole lot of people going along with it? You have to have a bunch of people that are willing to be organized and willing to go along. In Southern California, there's millions of guys that don't follow the rules, right? They just don't care. And here, there's not very many of those people.
Yeah.
So that makes that more complicated.
What was any one main trigger that inspired you to make the move?
No, because I was just, for me, once I signed up with the FSP, I was going to move as soon as possible. So it was just a matter of, getting things lined up, either having enough money to do it or this or that. And then when I met Kat, okay, I'm going to move and then look for work once I got here. So that's what I did.
And that was one of the infamous things that you did, was you pretty much married Free Stater Kat Dillon, now Kat Canning, as soon as you got off the plane.
Yeah, because we decided ahead of time, okay, we won't make a big deal because this is our second time getting married and we don't want to drag people all over the place. It's just us, so let's get married. So, and then I just came here and found work at a temp place and started working. So,
now what's something you wanted to add? You said you wanted to add something.
Sometimes you ask people what it was like to actually move. What was the logistics? I was like a lot of the guys that have it easy moving to New Hampshire. I was single at the time. I didn't keep a bunch of possessions. I left it behind and flew on the best airline to fly to New Hampshire, Southwest Airlines, and just came and moved my junk, a little bit later. And some guys have been like that. It's been funny how sometimes we have to move in a whole lot of stuff for people, and other times there's a single guy with one car full of stuff. So we recommend more guys that have one car full of stuff.
Any particular messages you have for folks who are kind of eyeing the move to New Hampshire, haven't really made their minds up yet?
Well, this is real. This is real life. People are actually doing stuff. People are making it's a big deal to move here. And we're actually doing these things. It's not fake. It's not just on the internet. This is real life, real choices of going, okay, those bad guys are hurting people. Let's do something about it. And each one of us taking steps to try to do something about it, and we all have our steps to take. And for you, the step might be to come to New Hampshire.
And do you have anything else you'd like to add that I haven't asked you about?
I can't think of anything.
All right. Russell Canning.
The crazy, you've heard of the mad monk? I'm crazy Cardinal Canning.
All right. Thanks, Russell. This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by FreeKeene.com. FreeKeene.com believes Keene is the best destination for pro-liberty activists like you. Keene is an exciting and challenging ground floor opportunity. Visit move.freekeene.com and read over 108 reasons to move to Keene. Help us free the beautiful little city of Keene from the clutches of the government. Learn why you should move to Keene at move.freekeene.com.